Hey y'all, welcome to another episode of Tiffany of a Take. You know what I came to do. Give my take on Beyonce's halftime performance. First of all, I want to say Netflix knew to have their operations in order because the Hive and Beyonce are not the one or the two. Okay? So shout out to Netflix for getting their streaming together because I know that was a hard job, like so many people watching or whatever, and just the technical efforts that it takes to make that happen. I can't imagine. Beyonce have. So I feel like just overall takes from the halftime. I feel like this performance really displayed the love that Beyonce has for her city. So the intro of the performance was so beautiful, like so stunning, so captivating. I feel like Beyonce has mastered the art of captivating the audience, whether it's in person, on screen. Like she's got that down pat. Anytime I watch Beyonce, like I leave feeling inspired. Like I can just kind of go out and conquer the world, you know? And a lot of days of life I don't have that emotion. So I always appreciate a good Beyonce performance. Like I want to interview Beyonce because I need to get inside her mind and figure out what happens in her mind that when she's putting together a show, because it's so many layers, right? There's so many layers, and I would love to talk to her and just talk about the craft, okay? Because I feel like a lot of people talk to Beyonce, but and they touch on the music, but they be so interested like in her personal life because she don't really talk about it a lot. I'm interested in the craft, sis. Like, let's chat. I'm manifesting that in my videos. Just that feeling of being able to feel like you can, or it puts something in you that makes you want to. I feel like that feeling alone is like immeasurable. Not many things result in that, and it's just the show. She walks out to the stage through like the football little hall or whatever, and on the walkout, a lot of Texas uh I don't even know what to call it, like a lot of just like artifacts, I guess, or you know Texas culture. She had like the lowrider cars with like the horns on them, which is super cute. I feel like Beyonce always mixed like hood and high fashion, and she's been doing that ever since House of Darion. Like if you know, you know. And a lot of times people say Beyonce don't reveal who she is. Like she definitely does, sweetie. It's in the art. Okay. And if you don't have the eye to kind of like pick up on it, then you'll miss it and you'll think she's not telling you anything. But she's been doing it her whole career. Um, so every time I see somebody say that, I'm just like, ugh. And she had singers to join her on the way out. I don't know their names, so I'm sorry. But one thing I will say about Beyonce is she likes to share her platform. She likes to uplift people. I mean, her whole career is female empowerment, but she really takes the time to like spotlight, people, individually, and you can kind of see, a lot of times people will try to like reach out and help people for like the clout of it, but when Beyonce does it, it's something that you can see within Beyonce that is like almost illuminating when other people are shining beside her. Like I seen it when on this performance when the girls beside her were singing, like just the glow. That time Meg Thee Stallion was at the Grammys with her and she was doing her acceptance speech. Like it's almost like this motherly thing um that happens. Like you can't fake that. And I just really appreciate that because I feel like Beyonce gets such hate, and it's really uncalled for and without reason. But she walks to the stadium field, and then she gives like this little look to the camera like it's about to go down, like I'm about to show out now. I don't know what that look meant because up until that point the aesthetic's very soft, powerful, but very soft, demure. But when she get it look like you know it's about to turn up. And this performance was like a medley of Cowboy Carter. She did the majority of the songs. Um, and low-key, what I love about performers, just in general, like I love when like they say or do something, and then the pyro, fire, sparks. I think that's called pyro, y'all. Like it coordinates with what they're saying. Like when they go like, and then like a spark happen, or hit a note and a spark happen. Ugh, love that. Um, Low key, y'all. So I used to work in this building, and sometimes I would be like the first one there. And the lights were like motion censored. So as I was walking in, like the lights would like coordinate with my walking path. Ugh, y'all could not tell me I was not in Madison Square Garden because that was everything. But anyway, back to the recap. When she went to the field, I mean, like, literally, it was over. Like, complete show. A band, all black, because, period. The formations they did. She also highlighted the people of Texas, like some of the pageant winners, and that was full circle because, you know, she used to do pageants. Some other people, but I'm not familiar with, but you could tell they were important figures just because of how they were dressed. Um, Recognition again. Like, but you know what I really missed? On the way to this performance today, they showed a clip of Beyonce when she did Baby Boy video, and it was talking about how she learned the choreography the same day. And underneath it was like something that said, "I really miss access granted." And yes, because now I just really wish we could get an exclusive like at the time, like the making, so we can better understand, because I feel like it's certain things in there, like if you're not from Houston, you're not gonna get it. And I would just love to learn like what's happening and what is being displayed. Now, typically what happens is in the following months to come, like I discover people that's kind of like breaking down. Like maybe someone from Houston that's like, oh, Beyonce included da 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 da, and that means. But I would just love to hear her kind of talk about it. You know, like that old school B-Day behind the scenes, the anthropology DVD. Like if you know, you know. And Blue's there. Shout out to, you know what? Blue ain't gotta never worry about a job. And B ain't gotta never worry about a backup dancer. Like those two, the combo. And you know when they roomie gonna join. So cute to see them. I'm not gonna go too deep in it, but it's so symbolic, and um I just feel like watching them do their thing kind of like, even though I'm not a parent, but it kind of like shapes the kind of like idealism that I want to have towards parenthood. I won't go too deep into it, but I will say I feel like it's very important that your child still sees you like making accomplishments. And for to be the parent, I feel like it's still important for you to have some type of goal for your life, because a lot of times with what I've seen personally is once women become mothers, like they kind of lose their drive for themselves, you know, like they don't do much with their life after motherhood. It becomes solely about the child. And yes, be dedicated to your children, um but also have, you know, things going for yourself that the child can look at and say, oh, well, my mom is still doing X, Y, and Z, or my dad is doing X, Y, and Z. Just like when Jay-Z won the like a lifetime award at the Grammys, and he was able to bring Blue up there, and she could see him, you know, being recognized and still making these strides. Like I think that's important. And I feel like, and as a mother and father together as a unit, which is also important. I just think that's so critical in the development of children and how they shape themselves to exist in the world and the life that they want for themselves. Like, not to get too deep, but I feel like that's important to say. Ashley Everett was there, I was happy to see her. I'm like, oh hey girl, because like it just gives that good nostalgic Beyonce OG hive. If you know, you know, like days. She featured Shabuzi, which was great because you know he just got snubbed. His song was like top charting for like 50 weeks or something like that. Do not quote me on that, but he had like the longest running hit song in country. Beyonce did not I think get nominated or something happened with her album. So it's like basically when Beyonce said I always stay gracious, best revenge is your paper, this is what she means. What she practices, what she preach. Like you may not have gotten the CMT, but the world pauses to watch Beyonce. And she don't need that. And now he don't need that. Because I guarantee you, being able to say you performed at a halftime show with Beyonce is gonna get you in more doors than saying you won a CMT award. My HD messing up. Being able to say you performed at the halftime show at Beyonce has more clout than saying you won a CMT award. So I talked a bit about her aesthetics at the front, but towards the field, you know, she switched the game up. She had like on the little I got my Spurs on, San Antonio. That's how I gotta remember what that's called. All white, you know, uh diamond out, you know. Let me tell you, Beyonce hair, I think his name is Neil that does Beyonce hair. Like, sir, you never take a L. Like, Beyonce has the finest grade of blonde. Whether she doing platinum, whether she doing honey, whether she doing like that uh neck shade, like it's always perfection. Perfection. And I'm just like, I got the box of Cream of Nature, and it done took like 10 applications, and I just we need some tips, Neil, sir, please, Mr. Neil. Like, how do you do it? Because Beyonce, you've been dropping. You did the hair care line. I feel like in addition to the hair care line, as a part of the hair care line, you need to go ahead and include the hair color. That's all I'm saying. It's only right, sis. The melodies, the harmonies, the transitions, like top tier per usual. I mean, no notes. And at the end, she did like this elevation in the middle of the stadium, and the way that would have turned into a stripper-esque performance, because I would have been shaking nonstop. Okay, I don't even. Beyonce has always had like this fearless daredevil element randomly in her performances. Again, people say they don't know who she is. She shows us every time in the art. Like she shows us every time in the art. Why do y'all say that? Pay attention. The way I would have been, I was nervous watching it for her. I was like, God, please don't let her fall. Because she's on a square, seemingly held by two strings, and it just pulled her up. And she just stood there like she on the beach. Woo! That's showmanship.